And as we've mentioned, the storms have caused some major flooding on some area roadways. Our photojournalist Lauren DeSarmo has been out for most of the night and joins us on the phone. First of all, Lauren, are you in a safe place?
Hi, Maggie. Yeah, I actually have to apologize. It's a little loud. The rain just started picking up again, so if you can't really hear me that well, that's why. But I am parked in a safe location, and I am in a high location because I have noticed a lot of water out here on these roads, a lot of people driving through it, or rather trying to drive through it. As you could see earlier, that video I shot probably about half an hour ago off of High House Road and Cary Parkway. I'm in Cary. That car had water almost up to the door. I talked to the Cary police officer who assisted that person, and he said at its highest that water was at his waist and moving higher. It's since receded in about the last 20 minutes or so, and it's starting to pick up again. But what I'm seeing now, not necessarily flooded roads, but those high water signs, those yellow high water signs on the smaller side roads, and even in the middle of the larger roads where there's still standing water. So that, I would say, would be the thing to be aware of right now.
Okay, and Lauren, it sounds like police are out there working with drivers. Have police actually closed off these roads, or are drivers just avoiding them on their own?
No, there are definitely road closures, and they're very clear. They're marked, so make sure that you're paying attention to those flashing lights. And don't try to go around them. I've seen a couple of people try to go around the police barricades, and then they just wind up getting stopped and having to turn around anyway. So it's really not worth it.
All right, Lauren, thank you so much for your interview, and stay safe out there. And of course, remember, never cross a flooded roadway. Even if the water doesn't look deep, it can often be deeper than it looks, or it could be flowing very quickly. So just turn around and go the other direction. We also want to get out to our reporter, AJ Janavel. He's covering storm damage and flooding around the Crabtree area. He also joins us on the phone. And AJ, what's going on where you are?
Well, Maggie, it is not too bad right now. I'm off of Glenwood Avenue right by the mall, and traffic is flowing pretty normally right now. There are a few Raleigh police officers up the street from the mall that have Glenwood Avenue down to one lane. Earlier when I was out here, it was pouring rain, and they had the road closed because Glenwood was flooded and people had to cut through this development. But again, the roads are cleared. That being said, there are a few cars that didn't make it. I'm looking down the street near Creedmoor, and when I was out there earlier, I counted at least 5 cars. Right now, I'm looking at one that is up to its rear view mirrors in floodwater. There is a tow truck driver standing outside of his truck, and they've been out there for about 10 or 15 minutes. I've just kind of been watching. They haven't made any moves. Looks like they're just trying to figure out how they're going to get these flooded cars out of this area. Now, Creedmoor had about 3 or 4 of them, but there's a bank right across the street from the mall. It looks like some people were maybe trying to cut through because these roads were closed, and I guess they just got stuck in the floodwaters. But again, right now, Maggie, it isn't as bad as it was earlier. Traffic is flowing normally on Glenwood Avenue.
Okay, AJ, and nobody trapped inside those cars, right? These are just cars that are being removed or trying to be removed from the floodwaters?
Right, Maggie. No one trapped now, but earlier I was out here. Officials at the Sheriff's Department drove by. They asked if anyone was still trapped, and we did hear reports that people were stuck. That's actually why we came out to this area, because we were hearing reports. But when I got out here, these were just empty cars in this floodwater. And again, nobody was stuck in these cars when we got out here around 10 o'clock this evening.